Hey everyone, this is Teo. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now Parblo, the company, they have sent me another graphics drawing tablet to check out. This is the A610. A few weeks ago I reviewed the A609. Today I'm going to take a closer look at the A610 and talk about the differences between this and the A609. This is the packaging box, nothing fancy. This is a wired tablet, so you need to connect it via cable to the computer. So let's take a look at some of the specifications. 230 RPS, 5000 LPI, 2048 levels of pressure sensitivity. The working area is 6 by 10 inches. The diagonal measurement is 11.5 inches. And there is a hovering distance of 1 cm. Now, if you do not know what all these numbers mean, it doesn't matter because nowadays graphic tablets, their specifications are generally quite good. So this is a good one as well. Now, the only thing missing here is the lack of tilt sensitivity. So the A610, it does not support tilt, while the A609, it supports tilt. Alright, these are the things that are included: the manual and the driver CD. This is the micro USB cable to full-size USB. So this is actually a wired tablet. Let me just connect this right here to let you see where the cable is supposed to go to. So it goes here. And this is a charging cable for the pen. So this is the pen, this is a USB port, and this is the small port that goes to the back of the pen like this. So it needs to be charged. Let's take a closer look at the pen and the pen stand. So this is the pen. It has a nice weight. The design is very simple. The rubber grip is all the way from here to here. So this is a large rubber grip. It holds very well. It doesn't slip at all. But this, it attracts a lot of dust. 2 buttons on the side here and the tip here. There is no eraser because this hole here is for charging this pen. It uses a rechargeable battery inside. With this stand, you can put the pen horizontally like this, or you can put it vertically like this. So this is the base. There are 8 replacement tips included, and this is the metallic nib remover. So let me just put it like this. So this is how the pen is going to look like when it's on top. As for the tablet, this is 10 by 6 inches as mentioned earlier. This is a nice working area. It's large enough but not too big or too small. This is almost like A4 size but slightly smaller. I actually prefer this size because my table doesn't have a lot of space, so this is good for me. There are 8 physical shortcut buttons here, and this is the light indicator which will light up blue when the pen is hovering on the surface. And this part here is just for decoration. This is very reflective, and I think this is going to be very prone to scratches, and so are the buttons. The buttons, they have a firm feedback to them when clicked. This is a matte surface, so it's not too slippery. The texture is actually quite nice to draw on. I like it. This is a budget entry-level tablet. Currently it's selling for around US $52 on Amazon.com. For the price, the build quality is quite solid. It doesn't flex a lot. Although the plastic does feel a bit cheap, but at this price point, I do not have anything to complain about in terms of the build quality. So let's connect this to the computer and test it out. So that's how the light will look like when the pen is touching the surface. The tablet driver is supported on Windows and Mac, but for this review, I'm just going to show you on the Mac. Now I have a lot of problems installing the Windows driver. The first time I downloaded the latest driver from their website, I tried to install it on Windows. The installation process, it froze halfway. So I have to force quit that. Then I installed it from the CD, which installed well, But after using the tablet for a while, the driver would just stop working. I can move the pen, but it doesn't move the cursor. So I emailed Parblo and they sent me another version of the tablet driver. Same thing, there was a lot of problem, a lot of issues. It was just stopped working halfway, or the tablet driver dialog box, sometimes it would appear, sometimes it would not appear, and overall it takes quite a long time for the tablet driver to load before you can use the tablet, so that's quite annoying. But on the Mac it works fine, so today I'm just going to show you on the Mac. By the way, I also went to Amazon to read some of the reviews. Apparently I'm not the only one with Windows driver problems, so there are other people as well, and this driver problem, I did not experience them with the A609, so A610, it has this problem which is quite irritating. So this is where you can map the area on the tablet to the monitor. This is where you can test out the pressure. The default pressure sensitivity is quite good. There is no pressure curve, so you have to change the pressure using this dial here, and you can customize the left click and the right click button. So these are the 8 physical shortcut buttons on the tablet. You can customize them. The Parblo A609 only has 4 physical shortcut buttons. So here are some pre-assigned shortcuts, like brush size, zoom in, zoom out, undo, hand, brush tool, eraser tool, and this is to reset it. So let's see if I can customize my own keyboard shortcuts. So you can also assign an app to open with the button. This is the hotkey. And this is basically a list of shortcuts that is already pre-assigned. So I cannot enter my own shortcuts. That is quite a bummer. So there's no way for me to enter my own keyboard shortcuts. So that's one downside of this driver. I'm not sure what this is. Anyway, if you are left-handed user, you can switch to left-handed use here. That's all for the settings. Let's get into the drawing. Most of the graphic applications on the Mac work well with the tablet except for Illustrator. So right now I'm using Adobe Illustrator CS5. Let me pick a brush. Let me try and customize the brush. There is no way for me to choose the pressure setting from the drop-down menu here. So pressure sensitivity, it doesn't work with this particular app. This is Illustrator CS5. Alright, let's get that out of the way and move on to Photoshop. This is Photoshop CS5. Pressure works. Alright, I sense some latency issues. So when I try to draw the strokes fast, the strokes, they do not appear immediately. So there will be a split second after my cursor moves, then the stroke would appear. So it's not like instantly, especially when I'm drawing very quick strokes like this. If I draw very slowly, then it's not going to be a problem. If I draw very slowly or draw at normal speed, the stroke, it will appear instantly beneath the cursor. So it's only an issue if you need to draw very fast, then there is this visual latency. Let me show you how smooth the lines are. So the lines, they are actually pretty smooth. And the pressure works very well. This pen is very sensitive. The transition between thin and thick is quite gradual and smooth. The lines, when they are tapering, I think the taper effect is not as smooth compared to some other tablets. So let me just zoom in here and let you see what I'm talking about. So these parts here, they should taper to a sharp point, but here it's like they taper to a round point. So that's something to take note of. Is the tapering effect going to be a problem? It really depends on what kind of drawings you draw. So if you do a lot of cross hatching, then maybe it's going to be an issue. But if you're going to draw at a slower speed, like at the speed that I am drawing right now, it's not an issue. This is Mischief. This is a very nice doodling software with infinite canvas. The lines here, they are quite smooth. Pressure works very well. This is Medibank Paint Pro. The lines here, they are very smooth and they actually taper nicer compared to those on Photoshop. And there is no issues with latency. So let me just show you the strokes. As I draw the strokes, they appear instantly beneath the cursor. So earlier on I had some issues with Photoshop, but here it works exceptionally well. Not just that, the lines, they also taper very nicely. So these are the sharp edges that I'm talking about that I wasn't able to see in Photoshop. So this is a much nicer app when working with this tablet. The transition between thin and thick is also very lovely. This is Kritar. Pressure works here as well. I do not have an actual number to the battery life in terms of number of hours, but it's not going to be an issue because it can last for probably 2 weeks around there or more, depending on how often you draw, and you can still use it while it's charging, so it's not going to be a big problem. As for the tablet, I had a lot of issues with the Windows driver, so it's quite problematic. I also read reviews of other people that says they have the same experience, so I'm not too sure if this will work well with Windows. But on the Mac, it generally works fine, with the exception of Illustrator CS5. Even in Photoshop CS5, I had some issues as well with the latency when I'm drawing very quickly, and also the strokes, they do not taper as sharply compared to, let's say, Medibank Paint Pro. With Mischief, Medibank Paint Pro, Kritar, Affinity Photo, I think all the other apps, they work quite well. Maybe it's just the old apps. So is it worth it to get this tablet at US $52? Well, you have to consider that there is the Parblo A610, which is a few dollars more, and that tablet, it supports tilt sensitivity, but that tablet has less physical shortcut buttons. Here there are 8, with that tablet has 4, but with the A610, I find that I actually can use the Windows driver, so that's a huge plus for me, but I have issues here. So my recommendation would be to go for the A610, even though it's a bit more expensive, but it's still a budget tablet at less than US $60. So yeah. So that's all for my review today. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section. If there are any updates to this video review, I'm going to put that in my text review. You can check out the link to that in the video description below as well. That's all. I hope this review is helpful. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.